Kussmaul Show on this Wednesday evening. It is 6 p.m. this Wednesday evening, and this is the Mason Kussmaul Show. Welcome in. First, I want to just say welcome in. Turn on notifications and subscribe so you never miss an episode of the Mason Kussmaul Show, because I change some dates around and some times around and all that. So make sure you have your notifications turned on. And I want to apologize that I couldn't do a show on Sunday because Sunday was Mother's Day. I was at my grandparents' cabin in the morning along the Mississippi River, which I've probably previously mentioned. And then I had a party at our friend's house. So we didn't get home till like 7:30. That was kind of past my show, and I was tired that night, which is fine. I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun that day. But, I want to apologize because that's not going to be the first time I'm going to miss a show, or I didn't have enough time to reschedule it or something. Get used to that, because this summer, once summer comes, it's going to be really busy. So today's sponsor is Kussmaul Farms LLC in Mount Hope, Wisconsin. I've participated in some of the work that's been done at Kussmaul Farms, and once again in Mount Hope, Wisconsin. Thanks for sponsoring this video. Once again, if you want to be a sponsor, I ask for two things. One, you tell me your business location. And two, you, of course, tell me your business name. I saw those backwards. And then you can include a little description about your business, if you'd like, that I will say on the show. And email me at masonkussmaul@gmail.com. No capitalization. But let's get started. Let's hop into our weather forecast for Thursday through Sunday, powered by Fox Weather. We might see some rain tomorrow, finally. My yard's getting dry. The dandelions are popping up. They're so annoying. Don't even get me started on them. This is the one time where I wish we sprayed our yard, but I know that stuff, all those chemicals, they're not good. We spend a lot of time outside, so they're probably not that good. Right now, it is 79 degrees in Mount Hope, and probably for most of southwest Wisconsin, and mostly sunny. The next 6 hours, it's staying partly cloudy, with lows overnight in the low 60s, so relatively good temperatures. Today's high was 83 degrees, and today's low was 60 degrees. But tomorrow now, Fox Weather is saying scattered showers and thunderstorms. A few storms may be severe. High of 84 degrees, and wind south-southeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Those will be gusty winds, with a chance of rain at about 40%. And the last time we had severe weather, really, for southwest Wisconsin was that one time when we were in the level 4 out of 5 for severe weather, for the severe weather threat. We got nothing. And we probably got some wind. That was pretty much it. Maybe a few rumbles of thunder, but really nothing. So I probably clearly described that in the video after that, or around that time. So this is level 3 out of 5, I believe. So not as high, but it's towards the higher zone, higher end. So there's a chance it could get severe. And I think it's mainly pointing towards the afternoon and evening. But I just hope it rains or something, because it's getting dry. I've said that I like 1 to 2 days of rain a week, and then I don't like any more rain. Especially like on Monday or Tuesday maybe, because Monday I don't really do much. Monday is kind of a boring day. Well, it will be Monday's the back to the work week, back to the school week. And I like it. The weekend, I do not like it when it rains in the weekend, especially in the summertime, because we're always busy in the summer. So it just can't rain on the weekend. It does, unfortunately, but I wish it didn't. But looking towards the weather for that night, it's saying low of 59 degrees, and it's going to say it's going to clear out that night. So it will probably be, I don't think it will be a big severe weather event. I just don't think it will. Going to Friday now, it's going to get a little cooler. We have mostly sunny skies with a high of 74 degrees and a low of 51 degrees, with wind southwest at 15 to 25 miles per hour. So that wind is still staying with us, with winds occasionally gusting over 40 miles per hour. That is enough to blow stuff in your yard away. If you're doing your garden and stuff, or if you're on your farm, you need to put all that, like your seed bags or soil bags, or if you have flowers outside, they probably have a chance of getting blown around and stuff. So you got to make sure those are good, clearly secured down, because anything over 25 miles per hour for a wind gust can clearly blow something away. And this is saying winds occasionally gusting around 40 miles per hour. So just be prepared for some windy conditions. And then the weather for overnight looks cloudy, so it's going to get cloudier. Chance of rain is at 2%, so not much rain. Saturday now we have cloudy with a high of 57 degrees with winds west-northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. So winds calming a little bit down there, not as windy. A little bit cooler too, 57. Not the best weekend forecast. I was hoping to go out on back to our cabin this weekend, so not the best weekend forecast for boating or anything. So, but low of 45 degrees that night. Looks like it might get a little bit clearer. Sunday, though, we have partly cloudy skies with a high of 63 degrees with winds northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. So getting a little bit better on Sunday, getting a little warmer. But it's not going to be nearly as warm as it was this week. Next week, I'm just looking at a little extended forecast, which I'll talk about more on my video on Sunday, which I'll get to later. I'm seeing thunderstorms again on Tuesday, so we'll rise in the low 60s. So almost like that's not what I like to see. But that concludes our weather segment. For more information on that, I use Fox Weather. Whatever you use your weather app that you trust the most. All right, get to the Bucky Brewers. The Brewers are third in the National League Central. They played today. Their final score for that game against the Cleveland Guardians was 9-5, the Milwaukee Brewers. The Brewers' record stands at 21 wins and 23 losses, and the Cleveland Guardians' record stands at 25 wins and 18 losses. Upcoming games for the Brewers are going to host the Minnesota Twins Friday, May 16th at 7:10 p.m. That will be in Milwaukee. And then Saturday, May 17th at 6:15 p.m., the Brewers will again host the Twins at 6:15 again in Milwaukee. Sunday, May 18th at 1:10 p.m. It will be the Twins Brewers in Milwaukee again. Brewers will host the Twins on Sunday, May 18th. That is your Milwaukee Brewers score and upcoming games. And that's just right off of Google. So, all right, River Ridge School District athletic/academic events for Thursday through Sunday. Starting with Thursday, May 15th. We have elementary events from 8:15 to 3 p.m. We have 4K field trip. I believe they're going to the Osborne Nature Center. Not really sure where that is. Elementary events from 8:15 a.m. to 3 p.m. is the first grade field trip. Not really sure where they're going. I think they're going to, I don't know where they're going. Elementary events from 10:30 a.m. to 3:15 p.m. is the second grade trip to the Lancaster Library. So I believe that's where they get a library card and all that, and they're kind of introduced to the library. We didn't get to do that when I was in second grade because of COVID. I believe my sister got to do that. She's got a library card and all that. Middle school events, which I'll be participating in from 10:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. is the middle school walkathon. And what that is we're fundraising. It's kind of an 8th grade Washington, D.C. trip fundraiser. But what it is we're just going to go out for an hour and a half. We're going to go out in the track, and we're going to try to do as many laps running as we can. And how it went last year was the class with the most laps get some sort of reward or whatever. I don't know if it's candy or an extra recess or something, or just the feeling of winning. Probably, I don't know if there was a prize or just got the feeling. It always feels good to win. And we're fundraising. I have a few fundraisers for the 8th grade DC trip, which I'll be going on in the fall of 2026. And half of the proceeds are going to the 8th grade DC trip, and the other half are going to it's called Thursday's Child. It's an organization that was started right in Mount Hope, so that's kind of cool. It's local, and it's for helping seriously ill children or young adults, trying to put a smile on their face or getting something. And again, that's for seriously ill children and getting a little hope for, especially probably around the holidays and stuff, which is something a lot of people could use, and it's really good that there's an organization out there that does this. It's great. So that's tomorrow, middle school walkathon. I'm really excited for that, too. Elementary events at 1 p.m. is the 4th grade red carpet event. It's kind of like it's in the River Ridge Elementary gym. It's kind of like a award ceremony thing for 4th graders. I remember when we did this. It's not like a graduation thing, but it sure feels like it. And the 4th graders, they get a bunch of awards and all that. And iReady awards. iReady is like an online learning program thing. And behavior awards and all that. So I remember I liked that a lot when I was in 4th grade. High school athletics at 5 p.m. tomorrow is the softball varsity game against Judah Albany at the River Ridge Athletic Facility at River Ridge School District. Friday, May 16th is a district event at 7:30 a.m. All library books are due because some kids don't turn in their library books in enough time, and then it comes in a big fiasco and all that, and then eventually the parents have to pay money and all that. High school events at 8 a.m. is the senior interfaith in Bloomington. I believe that's at St. Mary's. High school events at 9 a.m. is the senior breakfast at the River Ridge School District cafeteria. District event at 9:30 a.m. is a senior walk. That will be around the school. High school events at 10 a.m. is the high school graduation practice. So that won't be probably open to the public. Middle school events from 1 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. is the 5th grade state fair. So in 5th grade, we did this last year. You get assigned a state. My state with Tennessee. And you have to do a bunch of research on it. And you're eventually going to present it at the state's fair at towards the end of the year, and you start this in like February. It's a big process, but eventually it turns out into something amazing. And you do all this stuff and research about your state. You send some letters to stuff in your state or some businesses, like some tourist development places or tourism councils, and saying, hey, could I present this at my booth? I'm representing so-and-so state. I'm representing this state. And they'll say, sure, and we'll send you this stuff. And it was really cool. And it took a lot of work, but it was all worth it when you get out with something cool. I always say when we get something hard and it's a project, I'm like, ugh, another project, more work. But it turns out to be something really cool at the end. It's so cool, and I'm really excited I did that. And that's from 1 to 2:30 p.m. in the middle school gym. 5th grade States Fair, awesome thing. Loved doing it last year. Probably go to it again this year not as a person presenting to it, but as a person walking around listening to it and all that. So really excited for that. High school events at 7 p.m. tomorrow is the high school graduation. The seniors are going to they're going to officially graduate. They're gone already. They checked out of school. They're not coming back. But their high school graduation is officially at 7 p.m. this Friday. All right, there are no events this weekend. We will pick back up with events on Monday, so stay tuned for that in the next Mason Kussmaul show. All right, let's go to Mason's moment now. Today, my 6th grade class took a field trip to the state capitol building in Madison and to Cave of the Mounds in Blue Mounds, Wisconsin. So I'm going to give a talk about that. And it was really good. I thought I learned a lot. And I told my English teacher, Mrs. Price, this before. I was like, I probably could teach this class. I probably could do this tour or whatever. But turns out I was wrong. There was a lot of information that I didn't know about our state, and we kind of learned stuff nationally. I know President Eisenhower's name was mentioned, President Lincoln, President Washington, Benjamin Franklin, Alexander Hamilton, bunch of important political people in shaping our nation's foundation. And we got to go, we started out at the Capitol building, beautiful place. It was absolutely tremendous there, beautiful place. And we started out in the dome area. It was a huge dome area. And we started our tour with going to the Supreme Court building, where the Supreme Court sits. We actually got to go in there and sit, and it was actually pretty cool to see all these judges sit up there. And I also didn't know that there was only one male justice on that court. I did not know that. Obviously, we elected Judge Crawford to the Supreme Court in April, so she will soon be heading up there. So I did not know that there was only one male justice up there. That was pretty cool. Then we went to the state senate thing. We didn't get to stay there long because I believe there's something going on in there next. I don't know if the senate was meeting or something. But I believe that I saw a few senators or a few representatives walking around. They weren't Howard Markline or Travis Trinnell, our local representatives here, but it was still pretty cool to see them, because how I know that is because they were in tuxedo and all that, and there was a little assistant on her phone and holding all these papers, trying to catch up. Senator, you have this and so with who and who with governor and all that. And that was pretty much it. Well, actually, no, it wasn't. We went up it was this viewing area at the top of the dome. It was really cool to see. And you could see the whole skyline of the city of Madison. You could see Lake Monona, Lake Mendota to the north and south. It was really cool. And you could walk all around it, too. So you had to go like all the way up towards the dome, go all the way up, out some stairs up. It was a spiral staircase too. We did a lot of walking upstairs that day. Oh yeah, a lot of walking upstairs, a lot of stairs there. There was the option for elevators too, which I kind of would have preferred that, but it is what it is. So yeah, we went up there. You could see the whole skyline, city of Madison, beautiful city, beautiful. And I heard that you can't really, when it's raining and stuff, you can't go up there because they're afraid you might slip. But just don't be clumsy then. But so it was really nice. I liked it. I enjoyed it a lot. Learned a lot there. I got this map, which I'm holding right now there, which I've been looking at, which is also kind of ruined because I was swinging around and using it as a microphone on the bus ride home and pretending to interview people with it and all that. But anyway, it was really cool, really cool experience. I thought I learned a lot there, and there was definitely a lot of people there, and like it's an open place. It's open to the public. There's tours there, all that, a lot of tour guides there. And I imagine you definitely work a lot there if you're a tour guide. You got a lot of people to handle. I know besides us as a school group, there were probably a few other people there in our tour overall. But it was really nice. It was a really nice thing. I really enjoyed it. And would I definitely go back there? Yeah, absolutely. We did not get to see we did get to see the state where the assembly meets, but we didn't get to go in there because there was another group in there. And we didn't get to see the governor's, I don't know if it's his press room or his office or whatever. We didn't get to go in there. They said that it's only open on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So if you want to see the governor's room, you got to go there on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We went there on a Wednesday, so you can't see it on Wednesday, I guess. I was looking forward to that because I saw a picture of it, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. I want to see that. But I really wanted to see either State Senator Markline, State Representative Tranel, or Governor Evers. And I wanted to shake their hand and maybe ask them one question or so. But I didn't get to see any of them. We got to hold up a sign that says, oh, Senator Markline and Representative Tranel welcome River Ridge Middle School to the Capitol building. And I'm like, a sign's okay, but it's not the person themselves. So, and it was one of their assistants or I don't know what you call them, something, people that took our photo and all that. So we'll probably be getting that back, hopefully in the mail, hopefully sometime next week. But otherwise, Capitol building, pretty good experience. Would definitely go back there again? Yeah, pretty busy. Definitely want to probably go there around the right time of day, and definitely not a weekend. I don't even know if they're open on the weekend, but they are. Do not go on a weekend. I imagine that's really busy there. Now let's go to Cave of the Mounds. Cave of the Mounds, it's a really nice cave there. I think they have it really well taken care of. I've been in like Spook Cave over in Iowa, and I think, don't get me wrong, I think that's pretty taken care of too. But I think Cave of the Mounds is way more taken care of, way more organized, way more set up than Spook Cave. I think Spook Cave is a great place too. It's also a campground. So I think that's great. Don't get me wrong. I've been there probably twice, but it's still great. Still a great place. That would have been my second time going to Cave of the Mounds today. I went there once before, and they really recommend you can't touch this. You can't be touching all this. No, because the cave is growing. There's constantly water dripping from it, so you can't be touching all that stuff that's on the cave. And I remember we were going through this one part where they call it the Narrows because it's really thin and you gotta I had to turn to my side like this. I'm not a very big guy, and even I had to turn to my side only to fit through there. And they said it's fine if your clothes touch it. I'm like, I don't want any part of my body to touch this because number one, I'm gonna get wet because it was soaked in there. Water probably dripped on me like 12 times. And number two, I don't care. I don't want to touch anything on that cave if I'm not supposed to. So, but either way, I didn't. So I had to turn like this, but I didn't. So, but yeah, both places were a really good experience. I think, what did I like better? Somebody asked me this, and I said probably the Capitol building. I think Cave of the Mounds was really good, too. We got to go to the gift shop afterwards. We got to go see, there was a river in the Cave of the Mounds. We got to go through this Narrows part, and they have it really well done. The tour guides, they were very informative, taught us about, they said, oh, this is a slagmite, and this is a stalactite, and this is probably the oldest rock they found, and that's the tallest rock. Our tour guide was really good at pointing things out and explaining what this is, how old it was, what type of rock it is. He was really good at that. And both places I thought had a lot to do with the rocks, because at the Capitol building there was a lot of marble and granite and a bunch of rocks that made it corridors and stones and all that. And the Cave of the Mountains is just plain on rock. Everything's rock in there. There's probably rocks and a few lights and some signs and a staircase with a railing, and otherwise it's rocks. Some water. There was a lot of water in there. We were probably walking down this, and I made sure that every single set of stairs I walked down at Cave of the Mountains, I was always holding onto the railing, because I had a strong feeling that I was going to slip and fall there, and I did not want to break my wrist again, because I broke it in February, and I did not want to break my wrist again. My left one right here. So I'm making sure I wasn't doing that again. But, I thought both places, the tour guides there, where they were really informative. They taught us a lot about what this part of the building or cave is, and what this is, and how old this is, and what governor was here, and what rock used to be here, what this rock used to be like. And I learned a lot, probably about caves, and they said that a cave, in order to be considered a cave, a baby or a human being has to fit into it. Otherwise, it's not considered a cave. So I did not know that. I thought anything could be a cave. And if you think about it, caves aren't uncommon in this area. I mean, if we go down the road in Millville, there's probably, I don't know if you consider them caves, but they're like cliffs that have little openings in them that you can go in there. I don't know if you consider that a cave, but I kind of do. So I've been in a few. I know my friend lives right next to actually, a few of my friends, they live right next to the hills and all that, and you can like climb up into the woods a little bit, and there would be caves right there and all that. So I thought that was kind of cool. I lived next to a rock quarry. That's not as good though. So rock quarries, they got rocks, they got stuff the caves do, but they don't have caves. They don't have whole openings into them. They're just rock quarries, and we can't even really get out to the rock quarry. There's so many weeds and stuff there. We can only get like right into the entrance of it. Otherwise, you can't even get out to the back of where the actual rock quarry is. But yeah, going back, it was really good. They really informative. Both did a really good job of explaining stuff. And I thought I was gonna go into this place and be like, I knew that. Yeah, I knew that. I mean, there was the tour guide lady at the Capitol building asked us, so guys, when the judges get elected to the Supreme Court here, what are they now called? And one person goes, judges. And she's like, no, they're not judges. And I raised my hand, knowing the answer. I'm like, justices. And she's like, there you go. Got it. I was like, yeah. So, judges, once you're on the Supreme Court for like the state or the national level, you're not considered a judge. You're considered a justices or whatever they call it. I don't know. But I guess you're considered that. If I wasn't as smart as I am in like social studies and civics and all that, I would have said judge too, but I don't even think she said judge. She said, what are they called when they get elected here? And somebody said judge, and which I would have said too, not knowing. So I can't put all the hate on them or whatever. But I'm not putting hate on them. I shouldn't say that either. But so yeah. So I really thought both experiences were great. I recommend going to both places. It was my second time at Cave of the Mountains. My first time at the Capitol building. I loved it there. It was great, and I would definitely go back. A lot of information learned there. Definitely a historical field trip, I thought. And I like historical field trips because I'm a guy who's interested in history and all that. And so I definitely like this. I liked it. I remember in 4th grade, we went to Villa Louis and Effigy Mountains. Both historical field trip there. Local. It's local too. This field trip wasn't that local, but Effigy Mountains and Villa Louis. If you think about it, we live in southwest Wisconsin here. We have a few historical places. We have Wyalusing State Park, which has some historical stuff there. Nelson Dewey State Park in Cassville. That's where Governor Dewey, or former Governor Dewey, his mansion's there. There's Stonefield Historical Site in Cassville. There's the Villa Louis Historical Site in Prairie. So, if you think about it, we live in a good area where there's historical sites. And I just saw this map, I think it was at the Capitol building, of where the Wisconsin historical sites are. And I said I've been to a few of them, so pretty lucky there. And Grant County has 2 state parks, Nelson Dewey in Cassville, and what's it called, Wyalusing, and both are actually earlier this year we went as a class to Wyalusing, and we stayed for about 3 days there. It was really fun. And I said if I could do a field trip again, it would be going to Wyalusing because it was so much fun there. We learned a lot about the outdoors. We did a lot of fun activities, a lot of hiking, a lot of walking. But hey, it's a state park. You have to do that. And it was really cool because we got to do stuff with our friends, and we stayed in cabins and all that. It was really cool, really fun there. We got to build forts. They did a really good job of feeding us, too. We had breakfast, lunch, and dinner, which sometimes we had to serve to our classmates, but it was all good. All good. We did hiking. We went to, what's it called? Picture Rock Cave, I believe it was called. We were going to go to, it's called Treasure Cave, but apparently there's bats in there, so we couldn't go. Talking about caves again. There you go. Got some out Wyalusing, which Picture Rock Cave was not really, wasn't really a cave if you compare it to like Cave of the Mountains or whatever. Cave of the Mountains is considered a national natural landmark. I didn't know that until I saw that sign. National natural landmark, which is kind of confusing to say because national and natural really sound like the same word. So, but anyway, to conclude with Mason's moment, both were really good. Absolutely would go there again. Probably one of our better field trips. A really good lunch. We ate lunch at Cave of the Mountains. I had Subway, so lunch was great because yesterday was my dad's birthday. He's 41, and they must have got Subway yesterday for his birthday. Subway, and then we have a cake. So, yeah, big 4-1 for him. So, but anyway, to conclude, I absolutely recommend both places. Absolutely recommend going there. Those of you who have been there before, it's really cool. You probably could agree with me. Liked it, love it. Want more of it. All right, let's go into the conclusion of the Mason Kussmaul Show. Once again, today's video is sponsored by Kussmaul Farms, LLC in Mount Hope, Wisconsin. And if you want to be a sponsor, email me at masonkussmaul@gmail.com. No capitalization. And I ask for 2 things. 1, your business name, and 2, your business location, and a brief description about your business, which will be said on the show if you include one. But I also want to say I've got a decent list of sponsors. They're all the way in the back of my book here. But I haven't gotten one in a few weeks, so if you want to be one, go absolutely ahead and email me. Let me just check and see how many. I have a few left, but if you want to be one, absolutely feel free to email me. I probably will, if I ever get down to that moment where I don't have enough sponsors, I probably will end up using some people's again, which probably won't be that big of a deal. But if you have a description about it, it will be said on there. I've already put a mark down if you have a description. So absolutely recommend leaving a description for your business. But also, don't miss any episodes of the Mason Kussmaul Show. Make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. And my next video, I'm planning on Sunday, May 18th at 6 p.m. Now, I don't believe I have anything major going on this Sunday. I know Saturday I'm busy because Saturday I have graduation parties and my sister's got a gymnastics meet, which I'm not the biggest gymnastics guy, so I don't really want to watch that. But I thought we were going to go to the cabin that night, but I just looked at the weather and I set it on here, and it doesn't look like it's to be that nice. So that ruins my weekend then. I guess I'm looking for the graduation parties. But I don't want to go sit and watch. Nothing against gymnastics, but it's not really for me. Doesn't really interest me that much. All that. But anyway, hopefully to see you here at Sunday, May 18th. And if something does happen where I can't do the show, I will try to reschedule it or say something beforehand. Or maybe if I can maybe move it to an earlier time too. And I'm still trying to figure out my Mason's moment topic for that day. I really this may be surprising, but I kind of struggle with finding a Mason's moment topic. I kind of go around like, oh, what did I do today, and what did I do yesterday, or what did I do sometime, and I kind of talk about that. Like last time I talked about my boater safety impression. So, well, it is 6:30. That was exactly, it's probably going to be 6:31 when I end this, but that was around exactly 30 minutes of the Mason Kussmaul Show. Thanks, everybody, for watching, and I plan to see you, hopefully, back here on Sunday. It is 6:30 p.m. this Wednesday evening, and this is the Mason Kussmaul Show. Everybody, thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your week. See you back on Sunday.